Hello, Sagittarius. This is your February 1st to February 15th, 2017 read. For the main read, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot. This is the back of them. And for the advice cards, I'm using the Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. And as usual, I have already shuffled the deck, so let's go ahead and get into that. I feel like there's a couple cards here to get you into the read here. We've got some interesting situations going on here. Do I want that? This is face down. Alright, some interesting energies going on here. So, I'm already feeling like when we go into this read, we have the overall energy is this, and I feel like this is what you're putting forward. This is what people are aware of. And that's a very loving nature, a very helpful nature, kind of supportive, very communicative, not really aggressive, just to support. You're very loving and you're very supporting. What's going on behind the scenes that you're not really talking about is this, which it's the Two of Rods, which kind of, the way this person looks to me, it looks like a different part of the same page. Like foresight, seeing where things are going, paying attention to what's going on around you, and just looking ahead, planning for things to come, seeing where things are going and putting yourself in the right position to do what you need to do to make things work out the way you want them to. Okay, so it's not bad, but it's kind of like you're being very loving and very supportive, but I feel like while you're being very loving and supportive and getting involved in things, you're also like doing it to, get a better view about where things are actually going and to like see ahead of time where you need to be to get things to go the way you want them to. So it's not really, I don't know, it kind of feels a little manipulative, very slightly, but not in like a malicious way, just in a way so you can have a better vantage point to see where things are actually headed, instead of just like letting things fall where they may, getting involved to get an idea of like where are things headed already. So I hope I'm not like mincing words too much on that. As you go into this time frame, you got a lot of work here that you're doing, a lot of good effort. You're participating, you're taking what you need, you've got a lot of skill at what it needs. These cards don't mean the same thing, but it feels like they do. I feel like it's just more of the same of you like getting involved, successfully helping out. I feel like a lot of work needs to be done, but you're also willing to make that effort and getting it done. I don't know why at the moment they feel like the same card. And I feel like they're clearly different cards. We've got the Eight of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. I don't know why my brain is feeling like this. It feels like the same card twice. It's almost like putting in double effort. Putting in double effort, but succeeding in that. And doing what you need to do. But I feel like you're putting in like double effort. Okay. So I think that's the point we're trying to make with this. So I always read the cards based on what I'm getting off of them. So that's what I'm getting off of them, and that's what we're going to go with. I also feel like, even though it's successful, the next phase here is feeling like you're doing more than your share. I feel like you're purposely doing double effort, but I also feel like after it's said and done, even though it was a successful, whatever you needed to do, you were successful. I feel like you kind of feel a little like you did more than you should have, and you just kind of feel a little bit abused? Not abused. What's the word I want to say here? A little bit used. Used? Is that the word I want? Like you were just, like you got in there, you did double effort because you felt it had to be done to make this situation successful. You also did that to get involved to find out what's going on a little more, but you also feel like you're kind of taken advantage of. Okay. Excuse me. And this like, I almost feel like you're a little annoyed with that. And you might vocalize that a little bit in a certain way that I don't feel like you're purposely like trying to start a fight. And I don't feel like that even comes across that way. I don't think there even is an argument. But I feel like your words are kind of heavy-handed. And the person on the receiving end is very much, they very much care about how you feel and what you think of them. And I feel like the words land a little hard. Like, I don't feel like they voice back about how your words are hitting them, but I feel like there's a bit of hurt feelings. With the Knight of Cups and the Five of Cups next to each other, it makes me feel like someone is very much appreciative, but may not be showing it as much as they need to. And when you kind of voice how you kind of feel like they took advantage of you, I feel like there's a little bit of hurt feelings on their side. Like, they didn't mean for it to happen that way. They didn't realize that you felt that way, and they don't feel like they're voicing back how they feel, that they're just kind of like soaking it in and just they're kind of feeling bad about that. I don't feel like they're communicating back that they didn't mean for that to happen that way, and they didn't realize you were feeling that way. And then I just feel like it's hurt feelings on their side, like they didn't realize you felt that way, and they're not really voicing back how they feel. As we go forward, I got another double card. I feel like there's some discontent. You're showing some discontent. You're not happy with how that situation played out, that you put in so much effort, and you just feel like you were kind of taken advantage of. Behind the scenes, I feel like you're letting go. Like you're kind of doing this. You're kind of showing that you're not really happy with it, but the reason you're doing that is because you want to let go of the situation. You kind of want out, and that's kind of why you're doing that. This is behind the scenes. In other words, you're keeping this to yourself, that you want out of the situation, whatever it is going on. Excuse me. You want to break. You want out for a while, and that's why. So you're kind of showing your discontent, but the reason you're showing the discontent is you want to step away from it for a while. And I feel like you might. Let me pop out a couple cards here. Yeah, I feel like you might. I got the letting go card. Okay. So, when you kind of say the double effort, when this comes forward, I feel like the reason you're kind of complaining about it is, again, you want to let go. You want out of the situation. You feel like it's overtaxing you. And you're kind of saying it, you feel like it's kind of taking advantage of you because you want out of it. You're also feeling that this other person who has the hurt feelings, you feel like it's their turn to take over and to take care of it themselves. So when you're voicing that you feel like, you know what, I feel like I'm doing too much. This isn't fair. I shouldn't be doing all this work. You should be doing a bit more of it yourself. And I understand that it's hurting their feelings a little bit, that you're putting that forward, and they didn't realize that you felt that way. But I also feel like they need to take control of the situation themselves, and you're kind of pushing it over to them for them to take over on their own, and it's a good thing. I feel like this is how this should work out. It does cause a little bit of hurt feelings on their side, but it's intentional in the sense of like it needs to. If this is what it needs to be to get them to take over on their own and to take the reins themselves, then so be it. That's kind of how I feel it's coming across. Okay, I just feel like you feel like it's time that they take care of it themselves, and I feel like you're kind of like, even though you did double effort, like I almost feel like one of the reasons you did this double effort was to create the situation this way, to get them to take over. You wanted to see how it was actually being run by them, and you're not happy with certain things, so you're pointing out things they need to change, and that they need to take more responsibility and do more themselves. So you did well, and you did do double effort, but you're just kind of like, all right, this worked out well, and I helped you out a lot, and I pretty much did it almost all myself, but now this is what you need to do, and you need to take over now, so you take care of it. And I feel like that's one of the reasons like you got involved and took care of it, is because you're having this foresight, and you're actually trying to make them take more ownership, because you're feeling like they'll be able to do this if you kind of push them a little bit. I feel like there's a good reason behind why you're doing what you're doing. They may not be seeing it, and you're kind of holding your cards close to your chest, but you want them to take over because you feel like it'll be successful if you kind of push them a little bit. And I feel like you might be a little harsh with the way you're pushing, but it's for good reason. And you have, in your defense, you're kind of seeing them having success if you kind of just kick them a little and get them going. It may be a little harsh, but you feel like it's necessary. Okay. Again, when I go back to the discontent, you're showing that discontent because you want to let go. You want them to take over. And I feel like you're getting what you want. And it's also, when the success card pops up here, I'm really seeing this bullseye, which means you did what you had to do. It wasn't the smoothest of transitions, but it was intentional to make it work out. And it works out successfully because of the way you did it. I feel like for you, for this situation, it was the right thing to do. I don't feel like everybody would feel that based on how they handle things in life, but for you, this worked out. This got the outcome you were looking for, and I feel like you were seeing this not working out if you didn't do this. You purposely did it this way because, and I know this, the imagination card can go a few different ways, but when I see this card behind it, the two of rods behind it, I really feel like you're having the foresight to say, you know what, this is going to slip through. This isn't going to work out if I don't like get in there, fix it myself, and then like push them to do it themselves. I feel like you purposely get in there and fix the situation, and you help it become a success in the beginning part here, in the beginning of this time frame. But then you push back to the other person, and you tell them, you know, you need to take over. You need to take care of this yourself. This is what I do, or what I did to make it work out. I mean, I put that double effort in to make it work out, but you need to do that yourself. And then this will work out for you, but you need to take control of this. You need to take the reins. I'm not going to take control of this for you. I'm not going to live this for you. And that's why you're doing this. I really feel like I feel like it does come across a little strong, but I also feel like it's intentional, and it needs to make it successful. I really don't feel like it's malicious. The other person may not see it that way. I do feel like there's a little hurt feelings on their side, but I feel like it's purposeful, and you're doing this so that they will be successful. I think the short of it is your heart's in the right place. So I think that's what we want to say here. Okay, I think I've gone around this. I might have gone around it twice here. But that's basically what the read is here. I feel like it's a good read. I feel like you're purposely doing things for a good reason. I really don't feel it's malicious. I feel like it is coming across a little harsh, but it's coming across for a reason. You have best intentions, and you're doing what you need to do to make things work out for the best for everybody. Okay. All right, so that's your February 1st to 15th read. If you'd like a direct reading from me, go ahead, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.